Coming out of I.S.U.P.K. Atlanta, coming out of 1 West. We started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. In 1969, it's the Brotherhood class. The title of my class tonight is When We Remember the Water. The title of my class is When We Remember the Lord, when we remember the covenant, the Lord remembers us. And of course, that covenant it trickles down to brotherhood, to all aspects of life that we have. A lot of people want you to, these days, want you to forget about the old times, want you to forget about the ancient times. They always want to put the knowledge in the museum and just look at it and not dealing with it. But the Most High already knew what He done with the covenant He made with our forefathers, Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that this covenant, even though it's ancient, that nothing is new under the sun. The same thing that applied back then, the same thing they were doing back then, it worked the same way, and it's going to work in these days and time. Because this law is perfect. Somebody coming online, mute your phone, or introduce yourself in there and mute your phone. Because this law is perfect. And nothing new under the sun. That covenant, it will always stand. Don't never let anybody tell you that that covenant is old and outdated, and because when the prophets in the so-called New Testament was reading, it was older to them also. When during David's time, it was the law was old to them also. Ezekiel's time, the law was old to them also. So it's just our time and our era about this covenant. I want to get the first scripture to go along with that. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9 through 10. Let me know when you're ready for that, officer. Get some more people online. Anybody else online? We get Ecclesiastes. Okay, Shalom, Lord Christ. Who is this? I didn't hear your name. Ecclesiastes 1 9 through 10. Because when the Most High said,
Trooper Zariah reporting that.
Trooper Zariah, I'll put you down.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Ecclesiastes 1 9 through 10. Yeah, because when the Most High set things in order, I mean, if you go through the scriptures, He always talking about the ancient days, the ancient things. Remember the things are old. You always want to reflect on the things of old, the people, the generations before you, because that your past. If you don't know your past, how can you fully understand where you're going? You know what I mean? So we definitely consider those things in the past, just like the prophets did. Whether they've been thousands or hundreds of years back, we was in that same seat with learning the law, learning the covenant, the water, learning the law, learning the covenant, and whether it's old or nothing is new under the sun. And we're gonna pull that scripture, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. Through 10.
You need to read it.
Come on. Okay, you got it.
All
Oh, yeah, Ecclesiastes 1 through 9.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
Mm-hmm.
And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
It's something, it's no new what under the sun?
There is no new thing under the sun.
There's no new thing under the sun, no matter what you think. I mean, everything that we saying is just all a replay. The Most High got this thing set up from the beginning to the end, with His law, His covenants with the Israelites. That's why we got to find our duty as man and woman to find out, who we are according to the Most High and our duty, because nothing's new under the sun. It's all gonna play out. Whatever we think it is just new, they got the whole LGBTQ agenda that's going on. They already had Sodom and Gomorrah back in the day. All the technologies of America. They already had the technologies of Egypt back in the day. On all type of levels, we dealt with all the different religions, ideologies, different mind states. People coming from different angles, trying to find something outside of the Most High, trying to find another way to get to the Most High besides Christ. You know what I mean? They was trying to do that back in the day, and and they definitely doing it today. What's the next one? What's verse 10 say?
Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
This is new? Yeah, that's what you got to remind yourself constantly over and over again. You know what I mean? This is not anything new. All the temptations that we deal with on today's day, be like, hey, it's harder for us these days. Temptations a lot more crazy. We got social media and all that. It always something on whatever level is going to have. It's going to be that new form of social media they had back in the day, like we had back in the 80s and the 90s. Well, whatever it takes, that temptation is always going to be the same. We still going to have to fight the same type temptations, same type of sins, and build our strength. Go ahead.
God, it hath been already of old time, which was before us.
Right. When somebody come to you and talking about, see, this is new, just know it's nothing new. It's no new ideologies. It's all repackaged and remastered. We just have to have the understanding and knowing, what's that true ancient knowledge? Because there's a lot of ancient information out there. There's a lot of ancient knowledge out there. There's the whole Egyptians, every religion on the earth is, not every one of them, but a lot of religions of the earth, a lot of from Babylon, that came from Babylon, those are some of the oldest religions. Some people be like, oh, I got the oldest religion. It's not even about that. You know what I'm saying? Because we know when the Most High set their truth and order, when he set the law, statutes, and commandments, it didn't matter about that's always been from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? If your religion got a start date on it, it's a false. Any religion is false anyway, but if your religion, your belief system got a start date on it, started in this date, then it's not of the Most High. The Most High already had it set up. When he set up the heavens and the earth. And that's what we're gonna build tonight's class off of Deuteronomy 32:7. 32:7, because we gotta remember just how we deal with our brothers. They always have a new way of how you supposed to you deal with your friends, you deal with your woman. But friend, one of your brothers get to acting funny, you just cut them off for no reason. Your woman do something that you don't like, that it's not unlawful, but it's just something you get tired of, or you want to cut off or whatnot. Or the woman might want to cut her husband off because she's just not thrilling anymore, boring or whatever. That's just a small example. When we focus on the ancient things, the things that build the household, the family unit, a relationship. Those things worked then, and it's gonna work now. Now we look at our grandmama. A lot of us are great grandmamas and grandpas. A lot of them are. Some of them was married for like 50 plus years. Were together since they were young kids or whatnot. We look at that and say, that's them. That's during that era. But if we just simply look at that family unit, how they handled each other, it's not impossible to apply. So after many failed relationships, after many failed loves or whatnot, you come right back around. Ain't nothing new under the sun. You come right back around doing those ancient things, doing the things that you saw your grandma and your grandpa doing. Sometimes your parents, or sometimes even further back than that, because we all think we got something new. Just like you have children, you got siblings or whatever, a little younger than you. They come up, they think they can tell you, your children, they think they can tell you about certain issues. They think they can tell you or teach you a thing or two. But that's a mind of a child. When you're a child, you thought like a child. When you become an adult, like I say, when you become a man, you put away those child ways, and knowing that, you go into those ancient knowledge, because that's what's gonna keep us here. That's what's gonna, that's how we're gonna make it into the kingdom. That's how we're gonna make it on this earth, according to the Most High. Right. You got the Deuteronomy 32:7. We're gonna base the we're basically basing the class title off of this. You got that for me?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old.
The Most High again said, remember the days of old. Go ahead.
Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee.
Right. Go
thy
ahead.
Elders, and they will tell thee.
Right. Now, that's the Most High again. He's gonna always a reoccurring thing in the scriptures. He always wants us to consider the things, remember the days of the old. You know what I mean? To ask your fathers. All right, read that one more time.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old.
Right. We as Israelites, we got to remember the days of old. That's when we come back to the high holy days. To remember our victories, because the enemy, so-called Caucasian, so-called white man, the oppressor, and all the heathens, they're gonna remember 9/11.
Right.
All right, they're gonna remember Pearl Harbor. They're gonna remember all the wars and their victories, and they got us caught up in it. The slaves, children of the slaves, is celebrating their victories. They're not gonna never let us forget that. You know what I mean? What they want us to forget, they they the devil. You know what I mean? They want us to forget about Timothy McVeigh. They want us to forget about the guy who killed what is his name? That killed the dude, people in the South Carolina church.
Dylan Roof Storms.
They wanted to forget about the Dylan Roof Storms. You know what I mean? They have a little covers on that. That was him. They sweep it under the rug. But if you remember the days of old, and you'll remember these things reoccurring, and that the devil is going to keep on coming out, no matter if he look like a tough militant oppressor or a little skateboard oppressor. They all devils. They all devils, definitely. We got to remember that. Say it. And what it say? Remember the days of old.
Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations.
Consider the years of many generations. You know what I mean? Just like we just America just celebrated the 4th of July this past weekend. You know what I mean? So-called black people, we waking up a little bit. I'm hearing a little bit more where, people not really celebrating it as much. But, really, I really can't tell. You know what I mean? They got a day off. You got a day you can pop fireworks. I'm hearing fireworks even to this day.
Right.
This is July 6th. What is July 6th? It's 2 days after we still hearing fireworks. And, we stay in black communities. You know what I mean? The picnics, the barbecues. I don't see as many up and down American flag outfits like they used to have. All that coonery. You know what I mean? I don't see that as much. But we remember the days of old. You know what I mean? That's why we stopped. Hey, we like pop firecrackers too. We like barbecue too. But we remember the days of old. Hold on, 1976. No, I'm sorry, 1776. When they got this, when they got the so-called independence. Then what were we doing? If we just remember the days of old, we remember that we was the slaves. That's not for us. That's a real simple thing. You know what I mean? Somebody only got to be in the truth with that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not for us. That's not for you. You know what I mean? For real. Like, we want to pop firecrackers too. We like putting on the show too. When we was in the world, we used to put on the show of firecrackers and invite everybody over and, you know what I mean, have a big fireworks show. But when we when we remember the days of old, we know we'll pop the fireworks another time. We're not gonna do it for that day. And like, hey, I want to crank up the grill. It's a beautiful weekend, but just off the strength of that, I'm not inviting anybody over. I'm not even gonna crank up the grill.
Right.
Why? Because I remember the days of the old. You know what I mean? Keep on reading.
Ask thy father.
Ask your father. You know what I mean? For real. Like, we have to ask, sometimes ask your granddaddy. Ask your grandfather. He'll tell you who the devil is. You know what I mean? He'll tell you who the enemy is. It's not gonna ever change. You know what I mean? I had a strong grandmother that I didn't even understand coming up. You know what I mean? I just call her racist. Like, you know what I mean? My grandma racist. You know what I mean? She won't even let a oppressor into her home. You know, they can't come to my door and like, my grandma racist. That's just what she went through. That's what she went through back in the day. But as I got some days, some years on me, you know what I mean, experience and, you know, and looking into this ancient knowledge that the Most High set up, then, you know, I realized that, you know, I was wrong. You know, my grandma was right. You know what I mean? I understand her fully now. You know what I mean? Because you know, they'll tell you. You know what I mean? You, especially down south. We here in Atlanta, a lot of y'all got grandparents, had your father. They're gonna tell y'all about these days, because these days not that far. You know what I mean? I have to keep on reminding people that slavery ended 152 years ago. That's not even that many generations ago.
Right.
I consider many generations ago, we was in slavery.
Right.
Or even before that. And that's the main thing about it. When we have to remember those days. Keep on reading.
God. And he will shew thee thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Right, ask thy elders. What the elders that we ask now? We ask the elders in the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? Because a lot of our elders, they've been, you know, they out of here. They gone, or they don't even know the truth. They just know the breakdown of you know, a slave master's religion. You know, that's all we know. You know what I mean? When we call, that's why we're in the state that we in now, because you know, everybody thinking that the Most High connected to some type of Christianity, and you know, now we see it's just Sodom and Gomorrah. Everybody just, you know, YOLO, you only live once, type of life how they living. You know, when a brother or a sister find him or herself getting high every day, chasing that same high, and just, you know, popping prostitutes and being promiscuous with their body, then, you know what I'm saying, you know, it should be that spirit coming to you one day, and you should remember that the Most High did not put you here. It's a real reason for you to be here. Your real reason is not to be here to be high every day or any day. You know what I mean? The real reason, if you remember thyself and remember those ancient days, you'll remember that you weren't put here. You was put here to be greater than just a junkie here on this earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? You was put here better just to be, you know, some type of sex toy for somebody. You know what I mean? That go for male and female. You know what I mean? To be some type of prostitute, to be some type of gigolo. You know what I mean? You of a higher value. You come from more of a royal bloodline than that. You know what I mean? To be treated as such. You know what I mean? That's what we need to be remembering. Right. We'll never forget the names. We'll never forget the names. You know, like Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown. You know what I mean? Those are names we're not gonna forget. You know what I mean? Because we got so many we got to add on every year. Because we already know that oppressor, he's not gonna ever let us forget. As long as he's ruling, he's not gonna ever forget the names. That's why they still tearing down statues now. You know, whenever they may tear down a few statues or whatever, but they already have states and roads named after them. Some of the biggest good old boy slave masters you can ever heard of. You know, you might not even know who some of these people are. Just like in Georgia, they got an Earl O'Neill Highway. Earl O'Neill was one of the most racist politicians that was in Georgia back in the 90s and the early 2000s. You know what I mean? He'll call you nigga to your face. And he was in the Congress, and they named the highway after this man. They called the Earl O'Neill Highway. You know what I mean? Because they gonna remember their patriots. You know what I mean? And that's why you'll have a brother, you know, joining the military. You know, and I found a lot of people join the military, and they come out really financially. They come out very well financially. I mean, they set up, their children set up, and everything. You know what I mean? But you know, if you notice about them, they real patriotic, and they forget.
Sir.
Go ahead. Who is
I'm
it?
on call for water, so real heavy. If I may, you know, a lot of folks don't know that, you know, there was a devil named Henry Grady, you know, and he was a white supremacist, a big-time racist. You know, now they got hospitals named after him, they got Grady Center, they got a statue of him downtown. You got a black city full of black folks with a white supremacist statue in the middle of it. And folks who get born, you know, at a Grady hospital, they call themselves Grady babies. I didn't even know.
What was his whole name?
Henry Grady.
Henry Grady. Yeah, see, this information you don't even know. We calling ourselves by another name. Go ahead, sis.
I just actually said that to somebody today, because I'm a native of Atlanta. We call ourselves Grady babies.
Right. Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, see, I'm from Atlanta too, but you know I wasn't born in Grady though. I was born that time, but you know, but I already know my whole family from Grady babies, and they pride themselves on that. They might well get it tattooed on them. You know what I mean? Well, you from Atlanta? You ain't no Grady baby? Yeah. Like you ain't go through the survival like us. You know what I mean? You already know, but you know what I'm saying? That's all. Even these cities, you know, Jefferson, Hamiltons, and you know what I mean? We be repping that stuff. You know, we killing over them towns and over those names. You know what I mean? And not even having the full knowledge of who these people are. Or even when we find out, hey, it's too late. We already too established. We already invested into these names. You know what I mean? That's how we rocking. Right. So you know, we got to put these names off of us. You know, like that's what I was saying about the military. About the military, you know, it's so you know, you know, hey, if you don't want to choose a street life. You know what I mean? You know things not working out. It's like, hey, you know, you'll choose the military, but you got to remember. If you remember the ancient information, if you was exposed to the ancient knowledge, the truth, then you already know who the Romans are. You already know who the Greeks are, and you already know that modern day who the Romans are today. You know, just something that simple will stop you from a lot of things, and you'll see there's no way in the world you'll join the Roman military, because that's what we're against. You know what I mean? That we whatever Christ is against, that's what we're against, and that's what Israelites always been against. And Christ is against the Romans and the Greeks and all their ideology, and that's, you know, now they had a Roman Catholic Church which started Christianity. And those are the enemy of Christ. It's just something that easy. You should already tell people, like, hold on, the Roman Catholic Church. You know what I mean? This it can't be Christ like this. That's who set Christ up. That's who Christ was fighting against. I mean, you know, and that's what we remember. We'll never join the enemy's military, but you will have to have that ancient knowledge to even think like that, because you know you'll have your own people. They'll be the ones fighting you. They'll be the ones against you. You speaking like that against the military. You speaking like that against, you know, being a cop or whatnot. They'll have every reason in the world, and they'll be more patriot than the actual redneck. You know, they'll be more patriot than him. They'll be ready to fight. You know what I mean? The redneck, they get a little argument with you maybe, but that brother or sister that's joined the Roman military, aka the American military. Then we already know they'll fight you. They'll be ready to about shoot you if you talk against the military. But that's okay, brother. We know you, or sister, we know you didn't remember you wasn't taught that ancient information. You know what I mean? You didn't remember the days of old. You know what I mean? They didn't show you. You know what I mean? You didn't go ask your elders, or you didn't even consider that. You know, or sometimes we know all the information and it's like, hey, whatever I can do to be more or less of a slave, I'm with it. You know what I mean? We know we've been fighting against these Romans since the BCs. You know what I mean? It was times where we couldn't even be Israelites. And that's why you get the Hellenized period. You know what I mean? And that's what we are today, Hellenized Gentiles coming back to the truth. You know what I mean? Just like I said, nothing new. Just like the scripture said, ain't nothing new under the sun. That's basically what we are. We Hellenized. You know what I mean? We don't know. We just Israelites by nationality around here.
Right.
You know what I mean? From Glenwood to the California to New York. You know what I mean? To back down bottom around the world. To Guatemala. You know what I mean? We calling ourselves another name. But you know, once we remember who we are, then you would no longer call yourself a unauthorized bastardized name. You know what I mean? Black. That's not our name.
Right.
We got to go back to the ancient information to find out that, oh no, we Judites. We tribe of Judah. You know what I mean? We're we're not Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? We're not Dominicans. We're not any of that. You know what I mean? So, but you have to go back into the ancient information, and you got to consider the days are old. And that's, you know what I mean? And then what's the most important thing about that? Because the Most High, he when he's set up, can never be broken, and that's an advantage that the Jews have. But it's also, you know, a majorly the Most High can't go against His word. So that's why we're in the condition how we are now. Pick me up at Psalm 77 and 5 through 11.
Come.
Let me know when you got it.
Psalm 77:5.
Come.
All right,
Through
come,
11.
sir. I got it. The book of Psalms, chapter 77, verse 5. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times.
What? The years of what?
The years of ancient times.
Right. The days are old, the years of ancient times again. David, David, he wrote songs. Well, he was reading back when he was reading the law, like I was saying earlier. That was ancient for him. It was ancient for him at that time. You know what I mean? We just at that time period right now, it's ancient for us. We can't push out that information because they've always been ancient. Unless you were part of that first generation of with Moses them. And, you know, it's been ancient ever since. You know what I mean? And, you know, that's good for King David. It's going to be good for us. Keep on reading.
Come, verse 6. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I commune with my own heart, and my spirit make diligent search.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. Will the Lord cast off forever?
Right, that's what the question we asked. Will the Lord cast out the Israelites forever? We know we're the Israelites, but you know we're pushing for Christ to come back and crack that sky, because you know it's real pain down here, it's real suffering down here. You know what I mean? We come from a royal priesthood, a royal bloodline, and to see all these people, men that could have been priests, pushed up in the prisons, had no choice but be homeless on the street, being in all type of compromising, alternative lifestyles. You know, it's like how long would the Lord cast us off? Go, keep on reading.
God. And will he be favorable no more?
Right. Will he be favorable anymore? Because, we're not finding favor. We know that. You know what I mean? We got to come, when we get any light, then it's a celebration for us. You know what I mean? When OJ got found not guilty, we was all celebrating that. You know what I mean? When we got any type of, shaving, when he got 22 years, that was somewhat of a celebration for people. You know what I mean? And these are small consolation prizes. It's not anything big. They haven't given us any reparations. They haven't given us, even though we own it, we need I ain't gonna say we definitely need it, but we earned those reparations. You know what I mean? To the point where we shouldn't be the main people just working in the first fired and last hired.
Right.
You know what I mean? We should have generations set up from what our generations of our people put in place in slavery and built this nation up. But we at a point where us as so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, if we get $100,000, we the first generation of to have some paper in our family. You know what I mean? And nobody really properly taught us how to manage money on a lot of levels. So a lot of times it's a miracle we hold on to that. So we don't have any favor. But it's a lot of suffering. But of course, we know we got to come back to law, statute, commandments. But that's a question David was asking then, and that's very relevant now. You know what I mean? Keep on reading.
Come, verse 8. Is his mercy clean, gone forever?
Right. Is the mercy gone forever? I mean, we seeing babies getting killed. You know what I mean? We seeing brothers dying in the streets. We seeing the black household being destroyed. We seeing us being mocked on TV. We seeing us, mess, and us, we even messing up. We killing each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? We hurting each other. You know what I mean? Every time they speak about somebody black, a lot of times so-called black, then we know it's a negative connotation to it. Even though there's a lot of positivity, but you gotta search these things. You know what I mean? Let them tell it. They invented everything, and never give us credit for anything. But just like they knew what they was doing, they knew what slaves they was getting. The same slaves that built up Egypt, the same slaves that built up America, and they had to get those type of slaves with that type of intelligence. Also, but at the same time, our enemy got favor, not us. We don't have favor. Keep on reading.
God, doth his promise fail forevermore? Verse 9. Have the Most High forgotten to be gracious?
Right.
Have he in anger shut up his tender mercies? Selah.
Right. Those are the questions we still ask to this day. You know what I mean? That ancient scripture is still relevant to this day. It's a real current thing that the Israelites slavery over and over and over again, and here we in this last slavery, the transatlantic slave trade. And there's questions we continue to ask over and over again. And that's why we have to keep on remember who we are, because we'll get off. You'll get off. You'll get off of being, when you come, when you got an Israelite, from knowing your tribe and who you are, then you get off. You're gonna be off becoming a Christian, becoming a Muslim, becoming your sexual orientation. You're gonna put more into that than you put into your nation. And that does nothing to help anybody. That's just you as an individual, when we need to be looking at that we judge as a nation. What one of us do, then they're gonna be looking at it and judging all of us off of that. Well, that's just OJ, that's just Bill Cosby. They're gonna be looking at all of us like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they look at us all of us as a nation. Keep on reading.
Come, verse 10. And I said, this is my infirmity, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High.
Right, this is my infirmity. That's we in hell. We in present day hell, in a state of hell right now. But in the midst of all that, we have to remember who we are. That's why we rehearse these righteous acts, get into the scriptures, because we know that the Most High will do what He said He's gonna do. He gonna require some faith on our part. He gonna require a lot of work on our part also. But that day will come. We will be sealed. We will take back this earth. This earth is our turf. Yes, that is true. We were kings, royal kings and queens back in the day, in many generations, many generations ago. But the state that we in now is like, hey, that's just all a story, but it's like a fairy tale for us now. Keep on reading.
Come, verse 11. I will remember the works of the Lord.
You remember what now?
I will remember the works of the Lord. Surely I will remember thy wonders of old.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's reoccurring. You remember the wonders of the old. The same miracles they were doing back then, we had the power to do the same thing now. It's not, you got to quit looking at it like it's just a Bible story. It's not Sunday school anymore. This is the real Bible alive right now. Everybody regenerated back into the earth. We have, Christ sent us to be Christ-like. That's not a cliche phrase. To be Christ-like. He said, to go out and do things or even greater than Him. And that's what we setting out to do. Because we know the rulership is coming back to the Israelites, but at the same time, we are go ahead and practice it now. We want rulership now. But when you find out who you are according to the Most High, you walk a certain way. You talk in a different type of way. When you got that power on your side. All right, so we can have that on this earth right now. That's why we remember those ancient times. We remember the times of the old. And that's why we forgive our brothers 7 times 7. That's why we forgive the sisters. That's why we're not throwing our sisters away. We're not throwing our ribs away for any old little thing, because we getting tired of her. We see something else, whatever. She getting a little older. This is a woman from our youth or whatever. We ain't doing that. If it ain't for fornication, it ain't no way we putting that woman away.
Right.
The same thing go for the sisters. Nobody said it was gonna be easy, but that's the way the ancient of days. That's what we're gonna pass down to our children, because they're gonna think they know something new. And they're going to find out there ain't nothing new under the sun. They're going to keep on coming back, just like the prodigal son. Bear with me one moment. Pick me up at Psalms 143:5. All right, because we're just going to go through all that, remembering the days of the old. Every aspect of the life. And that days of old is that covenant through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When that was set up in motion, that's a blood covenant with the Israelites, and something we cannot escape, whether we know or not. And as you see, as 4th of July weekend was celebrated, they say 400 people was shot in America. and one day, you already know that thing is against the Most High. Just like Christmas, how many times we gonna keep on knowing? We already know what the high holy days are. We already know what those days are. So how many times? we're gonna see all these tragedies on all these holidays and keep on putting them, up like it really means something. Like you can't get hurt, like you can't get shot on these days. You know what I mean? Like something can't happen to you, like your house can't catch on fire. You know what I mean? You can pop firecrackers any day of the year, but you pop firecrackers on them days. There's a lot of fires on those days.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm saying 400 people got shot. There's some personal stories here in Atlanta, but you already know how that goes. 4th of July is hot. You know what I mean? The club, you go out on it, you can go out a lot. You go out on that night, it's dangerous for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Everybody drinking. People got firecrackers and guns in their hands. I mean, shoot, and the Most High Spirit is not dwelling in that day.
Right.
So best do not touch the unclean thing at all. You got that for me?
Psalms 143, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the days of old.
You remember what now?
I remember the days of old. I meditate on all thy works.
And that's what we should be doing. You know what I mean? Just continue to remember the days of old. We meditate on the works. We meditate on this ancient knowledge. Because this same ancient knowledge that have things.
Call has ended. Thank you for using dial pad meetings.
Call back in. Because this same information, a lot of it hasn't even happened as of yet. You know what I mean? From the beginning to the end of Revelation, it's things that got to play out on this earth. So like them conference call back.
Please enter your PIN to join this conference.
So like you said, actually, when they were popping the fireworks, because I live on Peter Street,
Mm-hmm.
it actually a lot of it sound like.
Please enter your PIN to join.
A lot of it sound like what gunshot?
Yeah, I can tell the difference between the fireworks and a gunshot. They sound like so. That's that time when they went to, they could get that off and actually, commit whatever crime.
Right, yeah, that's what happened. When I used to be in the world and party on 4th of July, man. Like, you know what? I'm not coming back out now. The club's too packed. Attitudes are too crazy. They just ready to it's something they ready to kill on that night. You know what I mean? And we got it's some few people. I seen a story in an article where a guy attacked his girlfriend with fireworks here in Atlanta. And he just pointed at her. You know what I mean? And, it's on. It got it on video and everything. We get the video set up, but yeah, you have things like that. You be hoping you could just make it out. You be hoping that you can just like Christmas time, hoping that you don't get robbed around that time. Hoping that you just all the bullets flying. You just make it out around that time. And you got New Year's Eve or New Year's to come around that time too. It's just like a 4th of July. That's why they had to have put a law in place in Georgia where they it's illegal to shoot in the sky now. In those days, because the bullets there was so much shooting, the bullets were coming down. It sounded like World War III outside 4th of July on New Year's Eve. You know what I mean? You know how it is in these neighborhoods. So they had to put a law in place that you can't shoot in the air. Even though they still do it, but if somebody called police on you, you know what I mean? You could definitely supposed to be going to jail it's supposed to just only be firecrackers because it led to a few deaths. Shooting in the sky those days. So you got bullets flying, you got things exploding. Oh yeah, there's another story that happened. A truck full of fireworks. You seen that? Exploded. You know what I mean? You got all type of fluke stuff happening like that. I mean, you got fireworks companies that's in business year round. You know what I mean? Things like this won't even happen, but it just so happened to happen on those days. And the 4th of July. You know what I mean? Well, only thing we need to be burning is American flag on that day.
That's right.
You know what I mean? The rebel flag on that day. You know what I mean? Having flag burgers. You know what I mean? That's the only thing we need to be having on that day, man.
Like if I may, I saw that all these nations had drunk from the cup of America's the wine from America's cup. Because I asked these Hamites, I said, do y'all celebrate 4th of July?
Mm-hmm.
They said, yeah. I said, why in the hell you celebrate 4th of July? You African, right? They celebrate 4th of July.
Right, yeah, it's like, that's where they all come here. America's the big melting pot where you can come and believe and do whatever you want to do. Hey, man, but that's just what that's called Babylon.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's called Babylon. This is new Babylon. This is Babylon's daughter. You know what I mean? And that's how we get the breakdowns on on how to identify who is who and what is what in the scriptures amongst that ancient information. Read that over for me again. Psalms 143:5.
The book of Psalms, chapter 143, verse 5. I remember the days of old. I meditate on all thy works. I muse on the work of thy hands.
Right, we better remember, man. We better remember that covenant. Because if we don't remember the Most High, he ain't gonna remember. He ain't gonna remember us. He gonna turn his face against us. You know what I mean? I would say coming through the translated slave trade and everything that happened, I would say that's a turning of a face. The Most High turning his face away from us. So he'll do it. We know he'll do it. He's doing it right now. You know what I mean? We not set up how we need to be set up. You know what I mean? In a ruling government class. You know how this earth and how things was made for us. We're not set up like that. So we better start remembering. So that will also make the Most High remember. And let me get that in Leviticus 26:33. Leviticus 26:33. And go all the way down to 46. Right, because the Most High, he ready. He's ready. You know what I mean? But his people got to be ready. You know what I mean? This is what the earth for. We gotta be sealed and woke up. Let them know we serious. You know what I mean? Or if not, back into slavery we go. Back into oppression that we go. You know what I mean? Because we already in their state. You can keep it. You know, it's not like it gets better. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
And I will scatter you among the heathen.
I scatter you among the what?
I will scatter you among the heathen.
Yeah. Everybody know what a heathen is. You know what I mean? For those that don't know, heathen is not an unbeliever. That's a non-Israelite.
Right.
Right. You know, because you can't come into the flock. You can't be a believer unless you're an Israelite. You know what I mean? So that's a heathen. Keep on reading.
Come, and will draw out a sword after you.
Uh-huh.
And your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Verse 34. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths, as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land.
Be in a what now?
In your enemy's land.
The Most High, our cities are desolate. The ancient city of David in Jerusalem, those cities is not populated. They in some New Jerusalem part where they not in the city of David. I mean those are what you call the antiquity, the lands of the ruins. Those are ruins out there. Out there in Israel where we were known to be plentiful in Jerusalem. It's no more of that. Now we in our enemy's land. You know what I mean? We reading, and that's what's going on right now. Keep on reading.
Come. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbath.
Right, the land gonna rest. The land gonna enjoy her Sabbath because the land, the earth can't do anything against the Most High, just like an angel can't do anything against the Most High. We the ones that disobeyed. We the ones got removed out of our land. We disobeyed the Most High, so He removed us from that land. The land gonna do what it need to do. It's supposed to do. We not doing what we supposed to do. That's when we wake up and find ourselves in the enemy's land. Keep on reading.
Come, verse 35. As long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest.
It shall what now?
As long as it as long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest.
Right, it shall rest. We not gonna rest. The land gonna rest. Keep on reading.
Come, because it did not rest in your Sabbaths, when ye dwelt upon it.
Right, when we had our time, we it didn't rest. Even the so-called tribe of Gad, Native Americans, when they got a chance to come, escape from Assyria and to come over here to North America and be in their own land. You know what I mean? And and follow out the law and the Sabbaths of the land. They what they got into. They got into against the covenant.
Right.
Just to sum it up. And they didn't remember. They were acting brand new. They say you acting brand new. Start acting brand new towards the Lord. You didn't remember the days of the ancient. You know what I mean? So it's a punishment on that. Keep on reading.
God, verse 36. And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts in the lands of their enemies, and the sound of a shaken leaf shall chase them, and they shall flee, as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursue it.
Right, that's present day. It sounds like Deuteronomy 28 with the curses. You know, man, it's all precept and lining up. You know, about the curses of the Israelites. You know what I mean, and that's to help us understand. You know, what are we doing here? You know what I mean. Of course, you're gonna have another tragedy. You know, God forbid. You know, we're gonna have another tragedy happen on TV, and people just ask why. You know what I mean. But we go into the ancient information and we find out. You know the answer on these things. Keep on reading.
Come, verse 37. And they shall fall one upon another.
Right, and that's what we're doing. We falling one upon another. You know what I mean? Who is they? Not, you know, that's multiple. That's multiple. I mean, my brothers, our sisters, they falling one upon another. You know what I mean? The gangs were started to be a community thing, and now gangs have killed more people than the KKK and all white supremacy than killed you know, outside the transatlantic trade slave. You know what I mean? Because we took their job over. Keep on reading.
God, as it were before a sword.
What verse you at again?
It's like 37.
37. Go ahead. All right.
I'll start from the top if you want.
All right. Go ahead.
Leviticus 26:37. And they shall fall upon one another, as it were before a sword, when none pursue it.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies.
Who shall have no power to stand before the enemy? Doesn't that sound familiar? You know what I mean? Because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are a nation within a nation. You know what I mean? Who's going to fight for our reparations? Who's going to fight for our rights? We can't go to the UN for that. We can't go to the World Union on that. We can't go to none of these committees, you know, and fight for us, even though we're a nation within a nation. Just a tribe of Judah, so-called black people, got $1 trillion spending power per year, which is more than most nations. And you add that all together, so the blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans, that's multiple trillions. You know what I mean? That becomes a big nation of spending power. But no, you know what I'm saying? We get soaked up by the enemy. You know what I mean? We become as merchandise to them. You know what I mean? We just work for their betterment. Keep on reading.
Come, verse 38. And ye shall perish among the heathen.
Uh-huh.
And the land of your enemies shall eat you up.
The land about what now?
The land of your enemies shall eat you up.
If what's going on now, 6,000 black men dying per year from gun violence, that's not eating up in the land of your enemies. I don't know what is. If 350,000 abortions between black, Hispanic, and Native Americans per year of our Israelite babies being slaughtered, if that's not a land shall eat you up, I don't know what is.
Right.
They found fetuses all the time in the ditch. The abortion factory done tossed somewhere. You know, they done had sacrifices and too. You know what I mean? Because they into all that child sacrifice stuff. You know what I mean? The land's eating us up. You know what I mean? Because we didn't remember the days of the old. We didn't remember that covenant. You know what I mean? We want to cross our brother out. We want to finesse our brother out. You know what I mean? Instead of doing it to the enemy. You know what I mean? Instead of coming back to the Most High and remembering that covenant. Then keep on reading.
Come, verse 39. And they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands. And also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them.
Right, the iniquity of your fathers. Right, you know, the fathers, you know, we ask our fathers don't know anything either. You know what I mean? We still suffering from the iniquities of our fathers passed on to generation to generation to generation. Because of that. Keep on reading.
Come, verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me. Verse 41. And that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies.
Go reiterating again. You know what I mean? With us not remembering bringing us to the land of enemies. We didn't listen to the Most High, so the Most High ain't dealing with. He wasn't dealing with us.
Right.
That's basically what he's saying. You know what I mean? Real. The Most High, the realest of the real. You know what I mean? That's the most true. That's the only true power living God.
Right.
Yeah. You ain't showing me. Y'all are not showing me genuine love. Y'all keep on disobeying me, and y'all going after false gods that y'all know made of wood and stone. And you know what I mean? You're gonna do that in my face? I'm not dealing with y'all. You know what I mean? And you know that these are things that help us understand, but we also got the solution to it. Keep on reading.
God. If then there's uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
They accept what now?
Accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
Right.
Verse 42. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob.
You remember what?
Then I will remember my covenant with Jacob.
Right. Because we start off now that we have to remember. We have to remember. If we don't, we forget the Lord. Hey, forget about it. You want to forget about it? Forget about it. It don't matter. You know, we treat people like that all the time. You know, hey, you ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it either. You know what I mean? For real. I was helping you out, but sure, if you not putting no effort into it, then forget about it.
Right. You
know what I mean? Real. You know what I mean? We want the Most High to remember that covenant. You know what I mean? But we asking them, when will that be? When will that be? You know what I mean? Keep on reading. I'm gonna start over 42.
Come. Verse 42. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham. Right. Will I remember, and I will remember the land.
Right. Remember the land, O Lord. You know what I mean? Because that land, we ain't seen that land. I mean, come on now, like for real. Hopefully, maybe one day I may have take a trip to Israel. You know what I mean, and see, breathe the air over there and see how how the land is one day. But hey, that's maybe or maybe not. You know what I mean? Because the Lord still waking up. Our people still waking up right now. You know what I mean? That land is ready. It's ready for us, but we not ready. Right. So we have to remember those days. Them ancient of days. You know what I mean? The old times, old generations. We should appreciate that. You know what I mean? As you get more maturity on your life, you appreciate the elders more. You appreciate your grandma and your grandpa more than what they put down. You know what I mean? We came up not even caring about that stuff. We seen, oh yeah, granddaddy built this house and he got this land. We ain't even studying it. We not even worried about that. But as we start having a family on our own and coming up on our own, we like, whoa, that's I couldn't even imagine building my own house and having my own land. Right. That is crazy. We definitely gotta commend the things that are old. And you know what I mean? So something being old should be more like precious, like gold. You know what I mean? For the knowledge and the wisdom. You know what I mean? So that's why we'll never put away, you know what I mean, the ways of old. Any little new ideology coming, any new information, we already know from a mile away that's false. That's false. The Most High is not even dealing with anything new. Any new revelation you coming with, even in Israel, somebody coming with a new revelation we ain't never heard before, whatever. I got a new revelation, brother. You know what I mean? For real, that's more of a you got a long ways to go to prove that. You know what I mean? Because we dealing with the ancient thing. We need to have precepts over and over again. There ain't nothing new under the sun. It really ain't no new revelation. You know what I mean? Because we still getting these revelations right now and getting these precepts down packed that's already been set in order. Keep on reading.
Verse 43. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them.
Without who?
Without them.
Who is them? Yeah, you know them. That's the Israelites. Like that, it's people over there right now. Yeah, it's people over there right now. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying. But the land is desolate without us. You know, it's the origin. You know, we Israelites. We go back to Israel. A Chinese person go back to China. A Korean go back to Korea. You know what I mean? Now we over here calling ourselves a crayon color, and crayon color of black has no land. You know what I'm saying? Black is just midnight, just out. You know what I mean? Is nothing. You know, it's just a black hole in space. That's it. You know what I mean? So that land is desolate. It's waiting on us now. Keep on reading.
Come, and they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, even because they despise my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. Verse 44. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away.
He will not what?
I will not cast them away.
He will not cast us away. You think, oh yeah, you think that's something? Oh yeah, thank you, Lord. Definitely thank the Most High for that. But that I will not cast them away. Yeah, He will not cast us away until we not be extinct. To you know what I mean, till we still come back. But it's gonna be, but we damn near be getting extinct sometimes. You know what I mean? For real, like it's really a dangerous species a lot of times.
Right.
You know, with our numbers been cut down, Israel been cut down. You know what I mean? The Lord not gonna cast us away, but that don't mean the Lord ain't gonna. You know, he'll let it happen to you. He will let that happen to you, of course, because He can't go against His law. Keep on reading.
God, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly.
Right. To do what?
To destroy them utterly.
That's what I was just talking about. Destroy them utterly. We're not gonna be utterly destroyed. Oh, but we getting destroyed daily, hourly, every about a minute. You know what I mean? But utterly. Nah, it's gonna be, you know, it's still gonna be saved. That remnant gonna be saved. Keep on reading.
God, and to break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord, their God.
Right.
Verse 45. But I will, for their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors.
Remember what?
Remember the covenant of their ancestors.
Right. That's all about that remembering. We remember. He remembers. Keep on reading.
Whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, in the sight of the heathen.
Right, the Lord want all the glory. You know what I mean? Whether we was talking about the no effing around correlation, the new Black Panther Party or whatever, the Lord not gonna give none of that the glory. They not gonna get our glory with guns and militant.
Right.
Being in that type of military form. Now we're in the biggest military, I.S.U.P.K. We very militant. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then legally we deal with guns, no doubt.
Right.
But that's not what I trust, and we're gonna keep them swords legally. But that's not what I trust into. I trust we're gonna let the Most High gonna do it in a way where He get the glory.
That's right.
You know, not no gun. You know what I mean? Not no not no group that's outside that's not proclaiming His name. Nah, He's not gonna let anything like that get the glory. Keep on reading.
God, that I might be their God.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Lord. Verse 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between Him and the children of Israel in the Mount Sinai, in Mount Sinai, by the hand of Moses.
Right, He did that in the hand of Moses. These are the laws and statutes, the same old children of Israel. That's who we are to today. You know, we have to remember those things. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Keep your eyes on the old, days of the old. Keep your mind meditating on the law, statute, commandments, and the ancient times. You know what I mean? We know these people are going to go off. These things have to happen. We know the world is going to go off. We know Israelites are going to go off. Right, but as long as we keep our focus on, you know, the beginning from the end, the ancient times, you know what I mean? We're gonna be all right. Then the Lord will remember us. You know what I mean? At least not for our family's sake, for our school. You know what I mean? We know it's we got to still be sealed in the earth. The 144,000 got to be sealed. But until that day, you know, you and your family, you know, you come into the I.S.U.P.K. and you know, you and your family, you start acknowledging the law. You start rehearsing those righteous statutes and commandments. Then the Lord, He'll remember you. You know what I mean? He could deliver you. You can have a heaven on this earth. You can have real rulership on this earth. You can find real favor on this earth. You know what I mean? But you know, when Christ come back, that's definitely what we're doing. But it's the real fight is right now. You know, nobody's saved until the end at all. Pick me up Psalms 119, 55 to 56.
$119.55.
Yes, 119.55 to 56.
Come. The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 55. I have remembered thy name O Lord, in the night, and have kept thy law.
You kept what?
Kept thy law.
Right. I don't even get it. Like just in Christianity, man. I just just reading the Bible. We reading Songs of Proverbs. We read that all the time. You know what I mean? Reading and what's good for seeing all about law and covenants is just reiterated over and over again in the songs and in the Proverbs. And I would never got it. I still would have never got it without a prophet showing me, without me being properly taught, the properly way. Because obviously David is talking about he remember his name, the Most High's name, and he remember their law. Go ahead to 56.
Come, verse 56. This I had because I kept thy precepts.
Because he kept the precepts. That's what help you remember. That will help you get woke up. That's the true woke. Following the law, statute, commandments. Now you woke now. You woke because that's the only way that's gonna wake the Most High up.
Right.
That's the only way he gonna remember you. He ain't even know who. He don't remember that. The only way he gonna remember you is if you are woke, not the fake woke, not the blackly black woke, but you know what I'm saying, according to the covenant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Go to Job 12 and 12.
Job, sir.
Come. Job 12 and 12, man. Man, we teach them about this ancient wisdom. You know what I mean? For real, it's more pure than gold. It's what's going to help us get out of these modern times. You know what I mean? As an oppressed people.
The book of Job, chapter 12, verse 12. With the ancient in wisdom, Salaki. With the ancient is wisdom.
With the what now?
With the ancient is wisdom.
With the ancient is wisdom. It's wisdom. That's what we should be. That's what we should be fighting. Maturity in our age and just every day, even as young. It's wisdom. Wisdom, and that's the key right there into the ancient. Even when we study these false religions, we see what they bought from Babylonian religions. We have to understand the ancient aspect to those false religions just to even understand and to bring it all the way up today. To debate these people, we have to understand the beginning from the end to explain to our people and get them out that madness. You know what I mean? Or know how it was set up. The Israelites, they got caught up in those false gods back then, and hey, we understand our people gonna get caught up in the false gods like it is today.
Right.
All right, keep on reading.
And in length of days, understanding.
Verse
13. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding.
Right, and we say with him is wisdom and strength. They're talking about the Most High. Studying, keeping your mind focused on that ancient information. Keep on reading.
God, verse 14. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again.
Right, when he knocks something down, it cannot be built again. Right, that's the type of power, the type of terrible power we dealing with, man. Right, you don't want to try him at all. That's the one you don't want to try. Because he's the one that you can still get destroyed in your ignorance of the law of the covenant. Because when that blood was sprinkled on our people back in Moses' time, it was over for you. It's over for you, for your father, and all his generations, whether you know or not. You stuck. It's a great thing. It's your Israelite, but it's a great responsibility. And it's not a choice. You know what I mean? Keep on reading.
God. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. Verse 15. Behold, he will do it. Salaki. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up.
The Most High, he's flexing his power. Letting you know. That's what he's dealing with. Don't play with him. Keep on going.
God. Also, he sendeth them out.
He do what?
He sendeth them out.
He sent them out. You know what I mean? Like a real, like the like any organization, organized crime, anything. Police officer, he send his officers out. You know what I mean? The hit squad send their hitters out. All type of things. But the Most High, he got the ultimate. He got the ultimate squad he can send out. And what he sent out, it gets done. Repeat that one more time.
Verse 15. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also, he sendeth them out,
And what they do?
and they overturn the earth.
They do what?
They overturn the earth.
Don't get it. Or the earth gonna get overturned, man. Regardless. As soon as he say go. You know what I mean? For real. That's what we find out as we start studying more and more. We see that the conditions that we see that the tornadoes, the storms, the natural disasters. A lot of times you'll see the chariots connected to that. We see that the Most High, he the one sending all that. He wasn't sending all the natural disasters or whatnot. You know what I mean? He know what he doing. He'll overturn the earth when he say go. Keep on reading.
God, verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Verse 17.
Right, hold on. I don't think we got that one all the 16 all the way. So can you read that one more time?
God, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
They all his. You know what I mean? Whenever he ready to do something with you, whenever the judgment he want to call upon, he know everything going on in all the minds of the people, the deceive and the deceiver. Keep on reading.
God, verse 17. He leadeth counselors away spoiled, and maketh the judges fools. 18. He looseth the bonds of kings, and girdeth their loins with a girdle.
Right, that's what we're talking about. The kings, the rulerships, the presidents. You know what I mean? The from whatever they call it, whatever state, whatever whatever country, whatever nation, they call it king, president, whatever. You know what I mean? Like they used to do in Europe, lords, everything, whatever. You know what I mean? He's the one shaking those up. The Most High, he got it all in his hand. He gonna shake and move those kings. Well, and sometimes it can be against us. You know what I mean? Because the Most High gonna he gonna make Israel. He gonna make Israel go through all the punishments that was set out. You know what I mean? And then it's gonna start getting better. But just know that power is on our side. He the one that can knock down the nations. You know what I mean? He's the one that's gonna be putting us in front of the presidents, and they can't do anything about when the Most High start flexing that muscle, start showing that type of power. Keep on reading.
God, verse 18. He looseth the bond of kings, and girdeth their loins with a girdle. Verse 19. He leadeth princes away spoiled, and overthroweth the mighty.
Overthrow the what?
Overthroweth the mighty.
He overthrow the mighty. You know what I mean? America looking real mighty right now. Russia looking real mighty right now. They're not expecting a nation within a nation, what they call the God of Israel, to come through and do anything, and shake all that up. They heard to talk about it. They heard to talk about it for years. But when it actually happened, look at the way that Putin puts on. Look at the way that American presidents put on. You know what I mean? They act as if they the God ruling right now.
Right.
Look at the NASA space program. How they got all the satellites up and whatever. They looking what they looking out for. You know what I mean? Look at all the movies they make. You know what I mean, about the aliens and stuff, so-called aliens mocking the Most High. Yeah, because they put on as they can stop the Most High power. But he said he gonna overthrow what? And
the mighty.
Right, he gonna overthrow the mighty. All right, finish up at verse 20.
Verse 20. He removeth away the speech of the trusty, and taketh away the understanding of the aged.
Right, he can shake it all up. Right, just trust into the ancient information and keep on doing what we're supposed to do. He'll put those words in your mouth to be a leader, to lead your people. You know what I'm saying? He'll put the skills into your. He'll make it able to you the skills to go amongst and influence the people on any type of level he needs to, because he's the Ancient of Days. Anybody know what the Ancient of Days is? Who the Ancient of Days is? Anybody want to give it a shot? Who? Go ahead. The Ancient of Days is another name for the Most High. You know what I mean? We talk about ancient information or whatnot, and he refers to himself as the Ancient of Days. You know what I mean? That's how deep this ancient thing going.
I think that's
Keep people at Daniel 7 and 9.
you want to pick up there?
Yeah, come.
All right. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The what?
The Ancient of Days did sit.
That's the Most High right there. Keep on reading.
Come. Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Like what now?
Like the pure wool.
Like pure wool. That's another precept we use for Christ. We use for Christ. So Christ came in the image of his Father. You know what I mean? The angels, Christ, the Most High, us, the Israelites, woolly hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's but his name he's referred to as the Ancient of Days. You know what I mean? That's the Most High. He's dealing with the ancient information. Ain't nothing coming before him. So of course he referred to himself as the Ancient of Days. Keep on reading.
God, his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire.
Right, it sounds like Revelation, starting to sound like Revelation 14 and 114. When they describing Christ. Christ came in the image of his Father. We use that as the pure wool in his hair. But the Most High, AKA, he's known as the Ancient of Days.
Right.
Pick me up the same. Daniel 7 pretty heavy. It talk about the many plights that the Israelites had to go through, the many beasts that we had to go through, was come in the form of these ruling systems from the Greeks, the Romans, and all that. Even now to this time now. So pick me up at Daniel 7:22.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 22. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High.
Or the who?
The saints of the Most High.
Right.
And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
The what?
And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
The time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Now, what happened? That's starting at the beginning of 22. It said, until the Ancient of Days came. So we already know when that time comes, and that's when the saints, which is the Israelites, they're gonna possess the kingdom. Because we sure don't possess the kingdom right now.
That's right.
Right. So we gotta the Ancient of the Days. That's another name for them. We have to go. We have to keep our mind on these things. So we have to remember the days of old. Remember the covenant between Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that way the Most High will remember us. Because we already know that 1,000 or 2,000 years of us confessing of us not being Jews and not following the laws and barely know what a Sabbath day is. Let alone how to fully do a Sabbath, how to follow the Sabbath. A lot of people don't even know what the Sabbath day is. All right, we've been Hellenized. We Gentiles. We've been cut off from our culture. All right, so just keep your mind on the Ancient of Days. Tap back into the I.S.U.P.K. because that's all we pulling in. That's the only precepts we pulling in is from the ancient. We understand the false religions on the ancient level. We understand the names that being repackaged. What's his name? Nimrod, like a Nimrod. A Nimrod gonna be repackaged to something in Egypt and something the Zeus, all the way on up. So we understand the ancient information. In that way. We remember the law so the Most High can remember us. That's the only way to it. Then we'll turn out. Then once we we remember the law, and we turn our face towards the east, and we pray towards the Most High, and keep His statute commandments. Then will He remember us.
Right.
Right. Let me pull that one.
Like it, which one?
Once once we pray towards the east and keep the statute of commandments, then will the Lord remember us. Shalaki. I get it, but the point of the whole matter is that we remember who we know who we are. We're not calling ourselves these modern names. You know what I mean? We're not concerned with these modern laws and modern ways of the people. You know what I mean? We're practicing very ancient way and putting a very ancient way of life into practice in this modern world. And just like David had to do, just like Ezekiel had to do, just like all the prophets in the Bible and the so-called New Testament, like all of them had to do. You know what I mean? They had to go back and get their registry, and they had to remind themselves they fighting against the Romans. We're doing the same thing today, and that's why we're not joining their military. That's why we're not joining their police force. You know what I mean? Because that's all. Because what's the government? The U.S. government is AKA the Romans. And we're against the Romans. And we have that ancient information, that ancient knowledge to remind us of that, so our people can wake up. And so we can all that 144 can be sealed. Because once those 12,000 men from each tribe, go and remember the days of old, and wake up by that covenant. And then the Most High, and we out of here. And that's the day we waiting upon. Because, nobody wants to be in hell forever. Nobody wants to be in the hell state forever. We keep on multiplying this earth. We having babies, and, we got on the grandchildren and our loved ones or whatever. We want to have, we want to be able to, do something to our enemy where, they won't do it again. You know what I mean? Just like the Most High said. You know what I mean? Our strength has been taken away from us to where we cannot fight properly, even fight our enemy. You know what I mean? We're a nation within the nation. Once we realize that and wake up, then the Most High, He gonna wake up on us also. And with that, I'm gonna pass over the class to the preaching prophet. Bear from a moment. The security knowledge.
Shalom, Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yahanna, and these are the I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in the Hebrew, my Ishara. 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or a teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. For upcoming holy convocations, please see your camp leader. And if you want to become a trooper in the school, start to wear all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men Israel Majum, Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatham, Tha, Salakia. Yazmatah, what we just said is the Most High, in the name of Christ, watch over you. All right, we got a sister in the class. Sorry, sis, thank you for standing. Hey, put your feet at a 45-degree angle, your heels. All right, you got your right hand over your left, the water. All right, so we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sister brothers. Majum Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alatham, Bashem, Yahweh Shah. And sis, you say Yahweh. Shamar, Alathon, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. And that's the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Okay? All right. So, Yazmatah, hands down. Class dismissed.